So you have landed in Australia and you are applying for the jobs, but you're not getting any response, or you're getting rejections in all the job applications. And you might be wondering what I'm doing wrong in my job applications that I'm not getting a job here. So we went and did some research for that, and we found there are 7 main reasons why you are not getting a job as an international student here in Australia. So in this video, we're going to talk about all these 7 reasons and how to address them. One of the first reasons we identified that the students are not getting a job is because of poor resume. And as you are already aware about it, the resume is the most important part of your job application in Australia. And you could be doing some of the mistakes in your resume that you probably are not aware about. So some of the common mistakes that international students make in their resume includes not following the correct format when it comes to the style of a resume. Now, Australian style resume could be really different than the resumes used in your home country. So we don't include some of the personal information in our resume in Australia, such as date of birth, gender, religion, race, or any other personal information. And we also don't include a photo in our resume. So in regards to the format, it's very important that you follow Australian style resume when you're applying your jobs here, and making sure that your resume looks professional all times. Now, in case you don't know what sort of style or format we follow in Australia, we have got you sorted on our website. Go and download a free resume template from our website and see step-by-step information that we have included in that resume. That will make your life really easy when you're applying for your jobs here in Australia. It is a really good example of how your resume should look like when you're applying for jobs in Australia. And we also got a really good video on how to write an Australian style resume as well. So we'll put all those useful links in the description below. Apart from the format style, one of the other mistakes that international students make in their resume is that they try to submit the same generic resume to all the job applications. Now, it's very tempting to send the same resume again and again because obviously it saves you lots of time. Now, in reality, if you customize your resume before submitting it for your job application, you actually have a higher chance of getting an interview rather than sending a same generic sort of resume to any job application. In order to address this situation, all you need to do is make sure that you customize your resume for every job application you are applying for. So let's say if you're applying for a job in McDonald's, or if you're applying for a job in a supermarket, or you're applying for a job as a role in reception, the resume should look different as per each job application. Now, another mistake that a lot of students do in the resume is not checking their spelling errors and grammar. Now, we completely understand that English might not be your first language, but sending a resume which has lots of errors and mistakes doesn't help your cause for getting a job. Now, how to address this situation? So if you're not confident if you have written a good enough resume for the job application, we suggest you to get someone else to have a look at it before you submit it. So get someone else to proofread your resume before you send it for your job application. And last but not the least, make sure your email address looks professional in your resume. Think about it for a moment. Even if your resume looks really great and the prospective employer is really impressed with your resume and they're about to send you an email, and if your email address does not look professional, it might put them off. So they may not even contact you just because of your email address. You don't want that happen to you. So make sure that your email address looks professional. Now, the second main reason for you not getting a job could be your communication skills. Now, obviously in Australia we speak English, and we understand that your English may not be up to scratch when you come here for the first time. And apart from just English, the other reason could be you understanding the Australian accent. Regardless of who they talk with, Australians love to use their slang. So you might be getting stuck with that. Now, how to address your communication problems? I know it may sound a bit crazy, but it is a good idea not to hang out too much with your own community when you're coming here and you would like to improve your English. Now, we're not saying that you should completely disconnect from your own community, but try to maybe find a place where you can stay with the people from other countries or cultures. Now, another way to address those situations is watching English TV shows or English movies, and making sure they are without captions. And reading newspapers, reading information online, reading books will certainly help you to improve your English. Especially when you first arrive here, we suggest you to go out, meet as many people as you can, so that will not only increase your network but it will also help you to improve your communication skills. Now, if you want to learn some Australian slangs, we got you covered on our YouTube channel as well. Make sure to check this video out. The number 3 reason is lack of work experience. Now, you might be applying different sort of job roles in Australia, but if you don't have any work experience at all and you haven't included that in your resume, then it is very difficult for you to get a job here in Australia. A lot of employers actually prefer if you have a local experience in your resume. Now, how would you address this situation if you haven't got any work experience at all in Australia? Or if you have got no work experience at all in your life? Now, in regards to this, what we suggest you to do is to look for some volunteer opportunities around you. There are many volunteer organizations that always look for some volunteers to help the community. Even though it's not a paid job, you still get some work experience under your belt and you can include that in your resume. And not only it helps you to get a work experience, but it helps you to improve your personality overall. You can learn many skills apart from just work experience, such as teamwork, communication, and other interpersonal skills. So we highly recommend you to do that in order to address this lack of work experience in your resume, especially the local work experience. Number 4, lack of references. Now, most of you are already aware about it, that you need to include some work references in your resume. And if you have no work experience, it becomes really difficult for you to first of all get any sort of work references. So how to address this situation where you don't have any work references or any references at all? We obviously do not suggest you to include any fake work experience or any fake work references in your resume. But what you can do to address this situation is to ask your teachers or professors or lecturers if they can become your reference for your work. Now, if you can show to your lecturers or tutors that you are a good student, more likely they're going to give you a reference. Personally, I teach in vocational education industry and I have given many references for my students to many employers. And I only give references to those students who are really good and I know that they are capable of doing the job. So make sure to have a good relationship with your tutor, trainer, and demonstrate or show that you are a good student. Number 5 is a cover letter. As part of the job application, along with your resume, you usually need to send a cover letter. And if you're not sending any cover letter at all, then that could be the reason you are not getting a job here in Australia. Or you are sending a same generic cover letter for your job application. Now, we understand all the excuses that it takes time to create a new cover letter every time applying for the job, and there are many other reasons we try to find out to not to customize our cover letter before sending it. But if you customize your cover letter along with your resume, you have a high chance of getting a job than the other job applicants. Even if the job application does not require you to submit a cover letter, we actually suggest that you send your cover letter along with your resume. The reason for that the many other job applicants will not be sending their cover letter. So if you do send your cover letter along with your resume, you actually have a better probability or chance of scoring that job than other applicants. And again, if you don't know how to make a good cover letter, we just created a new video on it a few weeks back. So make sure to check it out and download a free template from our website for your cover letter. And we again repeat this, that please customize your cover letter before you send it to any employer. Basically, every job you apply, you need to customize your cover letter and your resume as well. Number 6 is lack of networking. Now, we completely agree that many job applications are done online these days, and there are many websites that you should check out and submit your resume through for your job applications. But that doesn't mean that you should not do and meet people and do networking. Now, one of the reasons we know that a lot of international students are not getting a job is because they are not going out and meeting the people and creating their network within Australian community or within other student communities. Networking is still one of the most popular way of scoring a job here. So how to address this situation of networking? One of the things we suggest you to do is join some student associations and clubs. These clubs and organizations usually organize events. So make sure you attend these events and network with the people. Also make sure to check the calendar of activities that your college, institute or university is planning for the next few weeks. Especially if you don't have any other job to do at the moment, we highly recommend you to attend as many networking sessions as you can. There are many other apps that you can find local events happening around your area, such as a meetup, and we highly recommend you to join some Facebook groups in your local city or community and be part of that Facebook group and join and attend some of the events that these Facebook groups organize. Again, volunteering is one of the ways to network with other people as well. Networking is one of the most important way you can get a job here in Australia. So don't hide behind the closed doors, don't be shy, go out and meet people. Now the last reason is the lack of availability. Especially if you are applying for a part-time jobs, you will usually need to include availability in your resume. So let's say you're looking for a job in a hospitality industry. If you are not giving enough availability during the weekends or during the evenings to the prospective employers, then that could be the reason why you're not getting a job here in Australia. Now you might be wondering how on earth I have no availability if I don't have any job. Now obviously you'll have to study for around 20 hours per week here in Australia on a student visa. And sometimes a timetable from your institute or university spreads out on 4 or 5 days, or it spreads out in the evenings. That can certainly affect your availability to work. Now you might be wondering how to address this situation. Luckily, many institutes and universities give you a chance to choose your own timetable when you start studying here. So the ideal way to handle this situation is to choose your timetable nice and early, because usually there are very limited time slots available in each classroom. So instead of studying for 4 or 5 days, you can choose a timetable where you can finish all your classes in 1 or 2 days, and then you can provide an additional availability to your employers in your resume. And that will certainly help. Well, we hope you find some value in this video where we address the 7 main issues of students not getting a job here in Australia and how to address them as well. If you do, make sure to smash that like button and share it with as many friends as possible, so they know how to address these situations and issues as well. As always, all the useful links will be in the description below. Make sure to check them out. And today is 1st of March and it is our 3rd anniversary. Thank you for being part of our community. We really appreciate that. And we look forward to working with you for many more years to come. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.